Yes, Uh, welcome to everyone, students. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Md.Fazlul Huq. I am an instructor of English Non-Tech Department in Rangpur Polytechnic Institute. Today's subject is Communicative English. Students, I hope that all of you are fine by the mercy of Allah. I am also fine by His mercy. Today, students, I think you are continuing your study. Okay, students, today I shall discuss to you the topics that means about how to complete an incomplete story. So, students, I am for your starting. I am going to the next slide. I think you will be attentive for your class. Actually, what is completing stories? It is one of the topics that is included in your syllabus. Actually, completing story is a short story. Firstly, students, we have to read the beginning of the story. Then you have to write new sentence to complete the story. Students, we have to try to understand the beginning part of the story clearly. Actually, when you want to complete a story, firstly, students, we have to know, that means a beginning sentence of the story is given to you. Then you have to write the other sentence sequentially so that you make a new story. The meaning, the main theme of the story will be not same of you, it will be different to you, but the main condition is that you have to complete the story clearly. Okay, student, I think you have also write down the title of the story. Okay, next slide, student, you will find here, student, that you are, I think you are watching the slide. The beginning part of a story is given. Now complete the story of the following with a title. Here, students, you will find these two sentences. That means Mr. Hassan's parents are not very well. They have a few pieces of land. These two sentences are given in the first given sentence of the story. Now you will have to complete the story sequentially. Okay. For your example, I am telling to you for an example to you. That means I am presenting an example to you. Here it is a title of the story. Honesty is the key to success. Actually, you have to write down the title of the story. Actually, you have to give the name of the story. Then, students, Mr. Hassan's parents are not well off. They have a few pieces of land. These two sentences are given to you. Now, I have completed the story. For example, to you, they have a great hope in mind that if they can educate their only son, their evil days will come to an end, and they will be able to see the light of better days in their life. So they spent all what they had for educating their son. After completing his graduation, he came to Dhaka in search of a job. But he could not manage a job. He managed some private tuition and thus supported himself. He could not like his he could not like this for a long time. However, he saved some money. With that money, he started a small business. Fortune smiled on him. He began to make a profit. Then he invested more money in his business. Thus, he brought about a change of his fortune. Students, here you will find that actually you are watching that I have completed the story with a sequence sentence. Actually, you have to complete the story in this way. Actually, the main theme of the story will not be same to you. That means there will be different meaning. There will be different theme of the story, but main thing is that you have to try to complete the story successfully. Okay, students, I hope that we have understood what is completing stories. Actually, in this story, firstly you will find that there are some sentences. That means the starting sentence will be given to you, and you have to complete the stories with your own sense. So, students, I am going to the next slide. In the next slide, I am discussing to you about application. Actually, what is application? Application is a formal letter. It maintains writing rules. Actually, there are, you know that there are two types of actually application. There are formal application, informal application. Formal application actually maintains some writing rules. So you have to maintain the rules while you write an application. So, students, I am going to next slide for an example to you of a application. Suppose, student, here I think that I have written an application on a seat in hostel. Let me write an application to your principal for a seat in hostel. This is an application. This is an application. This is an application for you. You have to write the application in this category. Firstly, you have to give in the date. Then to the principal, Rangpur Polytechnic Institute, Rangpur. Subject, an application for a seat in hostel. What's the madam? Sir, with due respect, I beg to state that I am a student of your Institute of Mechanical Technology, third semester. Actually, student, here I have mistaken. Actually, it will be third semester is shift. My result is very satisfactory, but my house is about 30 km far away from our institute. It is very difficult for me to attend the class in time. Maximum times I am late in class. It is very painful for me and is hampered my studies, so I badly need a seat in hostel for solving my problem. So, I therefore pray and hope that you would be kind enough to grant me a seat in hostel and oblige thereby yours sincerely, Mr. Reza, second semester civil. Actually, student, here it would be with due respect, I beg to state that I am a student of your institute. Here it would be civil technology. It would be civil technology. I have written here mechanical technology. Actually, it will be civil technology, and the semester will be second semester. Here I have written third semester. Actually, here it will be second semester first shift. So, students, I think you have understood. Firstly, actually, if you want to write a formal application, then you have to maintain some rules. Actually, without rules, actually formal application will be not completed, not a successful application. Actually, here you have, I think you are experienced with writing application in your previous classes. So I have given an example for you. Actually, this application for a seat in hostel. Actually, student, this is the formality. That means the line will be in a row. Then firstly you have to return actually the date, then to whom you write, that's when you are writing the letter to principal, so they you have to return to, then the person, that's mean your respected person, the principal, his working place Rangpur Polytechnic Institute Rangpur, subject and application for a seat in hostel. Then students, then you have to address him sir. Then the starting sentence would be, with due respect, I beg to state that I am a student of an institute of mechanical technology. Actually, here student you will be, it will be civil technology, and second semester. Here I have written third semester. Actually, it would be second semester first shift. Actually, my result is very satisfactory, but my house is about 30 kilometers far away from our institute. It is very difficult for me to attend the class in time. Maximum times I am late in class. It is very painful for me and is hammered my studies. So I barely need a seat in hostel for solving my problem. So I therefore pray and hope that you would be kind enough to grant me a seat in hostel and oblige thereby. Yours sincerely, Mr. Reza, second semester, Civil Technology, Roll and Rangpur Polytechnic Institute. Actually, students, here, today you may give another cause for a seat in hostel. The cause will be not same to of you everyone. It here the cause is that the cause that your house is far from your how your institute, it is very far from your house, and so that you want to get a seat in hostel. And other students may show another causes, he would be very comfortable to study in a hostel and then house, so he need a seat in hostel. That means in various causes for getting a seat in hostel. So student, it is as it is a communicative English, and you have to gain the skill of writing English, freehand writing English. So you can add more sentence, more sense for getting a seat in hostel. So you have to try to write freehand writing. So as you are, I think you are studying English from class 1 to till now. So I think you have gained so much knowledge, so much skills, so much grammatical writing skills in English. So you should try to write English by your own sense. You have to gain, because it is a communicative English, and you know the what is communicative English. Actually, communicative English means to communicate with another persons by English language. So you have to gain the knowledge. You have to gain the knowledge, all four skill. That means actually speaking skill, writing skill you need. So here you can add any sentence in your application or in your dialogues or any topics. So I think students, you have understood what I have told to you. For your better understanding, I am I am going back to the first slide. Actually, student, today's topics actually I have discussed to you about two topics. What is actually, you know that what is actually completing stories. You know that there will be given what is completing story. Actually, completing story is actually short story. Firstly, students, you have to read the beginning of the story, then you have to write new sentences to complete the story. Students have to try to understand the beginning part of the story clearly. Actually, students, in this question, 2 or 3 sentences will be given to you. Firstly, as means the starting sentence will be given to you. Then you have to complete the story successfully, and you have to careful about the setting sentence of the story. The sentence will follow a sequence. That means it will follow the rules of how to complete the story. That means there will be a sequence. You have to clear about the sequence of the sentence of the story. Then you will able to complete the story successfully. Actually, completing sentence student, actually এখানে যেটা কমপ্লিটিং স্টোরির মধ্যে তোমাদের প্রথমে 2টা অথবা 3টা বাক্য দেওয়া থাকবে। তারপরের বাক্যগুলোকে তোমাকে নিজের মতো করে লিখতে হবে। সে বাক্যগুলো লেখার যে বাক্যগুলো তুমি ইউজ করবা সেগুলোর জন্য একটা সেন্স থাকে, একটা কোন বাক্যটার পরে কোন বাক্যটা হওয়া উচিত, এ ধরনের বাক্যগুলোর জন্য তুমি চুজ করতে পারো। এ ব্যাপারে তোমাকে ক্লিয়ার থাকতে হবে। এবং প্রত্যেকটা মানে একই ধরনের গল্পের টপিকস নাও হতে পারে, সেম হবে না, কারো গল্পে বিভিন্ন ধরনের টপিক হতে পারে, বাট মেইন কন্ডিশন ইজ দ্যাট ইউ হ্যাভ টু কমপ্লিট এ সাকসেসফুল স্টোরি। Then I am going to the next slide, students. Actually, here the beginning part of the story is given. Now complete the story of the following with a title. এখানে দেখা যায় তোমাদের এই ধরনের একটা প্রশ্ন থাকবে, the students, the beginning part of the story is given. তোমাদের 2টা অথবা 3টা অথবা একটা সেন্টেন্স দেওয়া থাকবে, তোমাদেরকে কমপ্লিট করতে হবে এই স্টোরিটাকে। কিন্তু you have to careful about the title of the story. If you not given the title, then you may get poor mark. So you have to write a title. Titles means you have to give a new name. It will be different of you. একই জনে এক একটা টাইটেল দিতে পারে, বাট ইউ হ্যাভ টু গিভেন তোমাদেরকে টাইটেল একটা দিতে হবে এই কম্পিউটিং স্টোরিতে। এখানে দেখো, মিস্টার হাসানস প্যারেন্টস আর নট ভেরি ওয়েল, দে হ্যাভ এ ফিউ পিসেস অফ ল্যান্ড। মিস্টার হাসানের পিতামাতার অবস্থা ভালো ছিল না, তাদের অল্প কিছু জমি ছিল। এই একটা 2টা সেন্টেন্স দেওয়া আছে, এখানে তোমাদেরকে বাকিগুলো বাকি কিছু সেন্টেন্স তোমাদের নিজের মতো করে লিখতে হবে। সো আই হ্যাভ told you again that it is a communicative English, and you have to get you will have to try to get the skill how to write English frequently. So students, I am going to the next slide. Actually, I have students, এখানে honesty is the key to success. Actually, it is a title, it is the name of the story. You have to write down it. তোমাদের ফার্স্টলি তোমাদের একটা টাইটেল দিতে হবে, একটা নেম দিতে হবে। এটা যেমন আমি এখানে নাম দিচ্ছি আর কি। এটা দেন মিস্টার হাসানস প্যারেন্টস আর নট ভেরি ওয়েল অফ, দে হ্যাভ এ ফিউ পিসেস অফ ল্যান্ড, দে হ্যাভ এ গ্রেট হোপ ইন মাইন্ড। এখানে এটা হাসানের পিতামাতার গল্প, অর্থাৎ এটা গল্পটা হচ্ছে হাসান সে একজন তার পিতামাতা দরিদ্র ছিল, বাট তাদের ইচ্ছা ছিল তার ছেলেকে তারা শিক্ষিত করে তাদের গোল্ডেন ফিউচার তারা হোপ করছিল। এই গল্পটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইউ হ্যাভ অ্যাকচুয়ালি হোয়েন ইফ ইউ read the story, then you will understand the meaning of the story, and you will have to write down in this way for completing a story. Okay students, I am going to the next slide. Here students, I have discussed previously in few minutes ago I have discussed this slide. Actually, this slide is about an application. As a student, you have to write these types of topics. Actually, application is a formal letter. It maintains writing rules. Actually, students, তোমরা জানো লেটার দুই ধরনের, একটা ফর্মাল লেটার, একটা ইনফর্মাল লেটার। Actually, informal letter there is no rules of informal letter, তেমন রুল নেই বা রুল মেনটেন না করলেও চলবে, বাট ইনফর্মাল লেটার স্টুডেন্টস ইউ হ্যাভ টু মেনটেন, ইউ হ্যাভ টু ফলো সাম রুলস। তোমরা ফর্মাল লেটারে যদি রুল মেনটেন করা হয়, ইচ্ছার মতো যদি লেখা যায়, তাহলে ফর্মাল লেটারটা হবে না। সো ইউ হ্যাভ টু কেয়ারফুল অ্যাবাউট দ্য রুলস অফ ফর্মাল লেটার। So, the letters that maintains rule, that is called formal letter, and application is formal letter. স্টুডেন্টস এখানে আমি তোমাদের জন্য একটা উদাহরণ নিয়ে এসেছি অ্যাপ্লিকেশনের জন্য। এখানে এটার অ্যাপ্লিকেশনের জন্য যেটা হচ্ছে উদাহরণটা, রাইট অ্যান অ্যাপ্লিকেশন টু ইউর প্রিন্সিপাল ফর সিট ইন হোস্টেলের সিটের জন্য আবেদন প্রিন্সিপালের কাছে। এখানে ফর্মালিটি, দি ফার্স্ট দ্যাট ইউ হ্যাভ টু রাইট ডাউন দি ডেট, ইউ হ্যাভ টু রাইট, তোমাকে ডেট লিখতে হবে ফার্স্টলি। দেন টু the principal, this is the, actually this is the rule, principal you have to write down in a length, in a raw, to the principal, Rangpur Polytechnic Institute, Rangpur. Subject and application for a seat in hostel, then the addressing him, sir, with due respect, I beg to state that I am a student of your institute for actually mechanical, actually here would be a civil technology, third semester, first shift. Actually my result is very satisfactory, but my house is about 30 kilometers far away from our institute. It is very difficult for me to attend the class in time. Maximum times I am late in class. It is very painful for me and is hammered my studies, so I barely need a seat in hostel for solving my problem. So I therefore pray and hope that you would be kind enough to grant me a seat in hostel and oblige thereby. Yours sincerely, Mr. Reza, second semester, civil technology. Actually students, you have to write down the abbreviation with this same. Suppose you will, suppose you find that, and you want to write an application to your principal for a transfer certificate, or for a study tour, or for help from poor fund, or for establishing ইংলিশ ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ ক্লাব ইন ইউর ইনস্টিটিউট। এ অনেক ধরনের অ্যাপ্লিকেশন তোমাদের থাকতে পারে। যে ধরনের অ্যাপ্লিকেশনগুলো থাক না কেন, ইউ হ্যাভ টু রাইট ডাউন ইন দিস সিকোয়েন্স, ইন দিস সিস্টেম, ইন দিস রুলস। ফার্স্টলি ইউ হ্যাভ টু গিভেন, অ্যাকচুয়ালি প্রথমেই তোমাদেরকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি একটা ডেট দিতে হবে, দেন যাকে অ্যাড্রেস করে দেবে সে টু দ্য প্রিন্সিপাল। এখানে প্রিন্সিপাল অথবা যদি চেয়ারম্যান বরাবর, যদি টিউবওয়েলের ক্ষেত্রে অনেক সময় হয় যেটা, অথবা ব্যাংকের যদি হয়, ব্যাংকে তুমি একটা অ্যাপ্লিকেশন করতে যাচ্ছ, অ্যাকাউন্ট খুলতে যাচ্ছ, সেক্ষেত্রে তোমাদের ম্যানেজার হতে হবে, এখানে ম্যানেজার হবে এই ধরনের। তারপর তার ওয়ার্কিং প্লেসের নাম, হেয়ার ইউ আর writing this application to your principal, so his working place name is Rangpur Polytechnic Institute. Then student you have to write down the subject, তারপর তোমাদেরকে একটা সাবজেক্ট, এখানে সাবজেক্ট লিখতে হবে, সাবজেক্ট পর তাকে অ্যাড্রেস করতে হবে, মানে বাই, দেন উই আর অ্যাড্রেসিং অ্যাজ স্যার, তারপর স্যার হিসেবে অ্যাড্রেস করলাম। দেন the starting since with due respect, এটা I beg to state that I am a student of, actually এখানে তোমার একটা পরিচয়, তোমার পরিচয় দেওয়া হবে। এখানে তুমি যেহেতু এখানে মায়ের যে তুমি হোস্টেলের সিটের জন্য আবেদন করছো, এটা যদি কোনো ব্যাংকে তুমি যদি তুমি যদি নর্মালি ট্রান্সফার সার্টিফিকেটের জন্য চাও, দেন ইউ উইল শো দ্যাট অ্যানাদার কজ, that your father is transferred to here from here to another, you may another cause you may show. If you want to write the application for a study tour, তুমি the study tour এর জন্য যদি লিখতে চাও, তাহলে study tour এর টপিকটা, study tour actually কি, what will be benefit of study tour, এইগুলো লেখার পর then you have to actually then you have to ask a permission from your principal. So and if you want to write an application for opening a bank account, then you have to address the manager. Then you want to, why do you want to open a bank account, কেন তুমি ব্যাংকের অ্যাকাউন্ট খুলতে চাও, then you have to write down about this. Okay, but all these formal letters will follow some rules, so you have to try to write down, you have to try to follow the rules while you will write an application. So student, I think you have understood today I have discussed to you two topics, actually computing stories and about how to write application, and for I have presented an application for your understanding as a example. So I think you have understood, and if you have any question, you may ask, you may write down the question in your comment box. So students, you know that actually you know the present condition of the world nowadays. We are passing a critical time. Actually, I think you have to, actually all of you will follow the rules of health. Huh? Okay, students, I think actually you should follow the rules of health for saving yourself. You know that in present condition, actually we have to follow some rules. Actually, you have to keep distance, you have to wear masks, and when you will come back from outside in your home, then you have to wash your hand. And so and you should not hammer your study. You should continue your study. I think inshallah it will be okay after few days. Then we'll come back to class, and actually, and you know that your examination will be held after few, actually after few days, or maybe the expected time your exam will be held. So you should not be um, careless about your study. You should study your you should study attentively. Then that means you should not miss time, you should not waste time. So I hope all of you are fine. Actually, may Allah keep you all fine physically and mentally. Okay, next day, student, we will meet again. Okay, till then, goodbye.